horses do you have?
7.
Do you ride them?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I have 2 that kind of my bucket list. One of the Pains and a Grula, and they just turned 2, so I'm just starting to work with them. But the other ones are older. I try to at least ride each one of them once a week, even if it's just a pasture ride. Because it's nice, because I don't have to trailer anywhere. I can saddle up or go bareback and just ride around, check the cow.
Right.
So that one's a baby, and next to the Pain there, and that black gray one, they're just 2-year-olds. Some of their offspring having babies, but this is Sue Ellen right here, this black and white one. She's very protective.
Sue Ellen?
Yeah, she's very protective.
She's gorgeous.
And hi, baby.
What's her name?
Well, I haven't named them all.
Okay.
I named the Longhorns because from Texas we did Dallas. We did Sue Ellen and Miss Ellen. I have a couple that have pet names though.
What's that, hon?
Let's stop by 51. Let's see if I can come up to her.
Stop by 51.
Okay.
Is that the tag on their ear? 51?
Maybe we could get a picture of Tom.
That's a big animal.
Hey, Mama.
That's a Merle.
And it's not a very nice sight it's given us.
No, honey, your calf is over there. It's not here, it's over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Lord. And we were exhausted and so happy. Then yeah, it was. So we've had some of those harrowing events,
How much weight can you put on?
Probably not a lot. They were mainly used, they say miniature donkeys came from Italy, and they were used in the mines to pull carts because they were little and they could,
Oh, yeah.
But they're just very, very sweet, aren't you?
So you don't put little kids on them at all?
No. I really should train them how to use a cart or
I
something.
don't have any. Sorry. Showed me his teeth.
Hey, Jeri.
Come here, baby.
Come here.
Come on, baby.
Safety first. Okay, going through. Come on, y'all, be a leader. Be a leader. Be a leader. Come on, kid. That's it.
What does he want?
Good job. Dragging him all over the yard.
Because he could figure out that if he got, that was something he could, really latch
I can
onto.
control you now.
Yeah. And we didn't want anybody to get
Chubbins.
hurt.
Hi, Chubbins.
Hey, AwesomeDoodle fans. We are here in, what's the name of the city?
This is in Hygiene, Colorado, or near Longmont.
Near Longmont, Colorado. I'm here visiting Wendy, who lives in South Denver. And this is Jim and Jeri, and they have Bromby. Bromby is a puppy from Faith and Cash's last litter. When did you get Bromby? Back in
May 21st.
May 21st.
May 21st. So he's about 6 months old then.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so Jim and Jeri have invited us to come and see their ranch. And it's always funny because I always say, this is the AwesomeDoodle Ranch, but my ranch is not a ranch. This is a real ranch. There's cows in the back, horses in the back. They took us on a tour of the ranch. We rode in the fire truck. We got to see all the cattle. We've had a great time. So Jim and Jeri, thank you so much for the warm welcome, and we've had such a good time here today. Tell us a little bit about Bromby.
Well, I'll start. Bromby, from probably the first couple hours we had him, we knew he was something different. He was just amazing. he picked up everything so quickly, but he's very sensitive at the same time, so we had to sort of be careful with how much we allowed him to do and stuff and not get too upset with him. But he was very responsive, very alert, and from the first, like I said, the first 2 or 3 days, we knew that he was almost smarter than us. It was kind of scary because we didn't want to mess up.
Which isn't a big step.
No, it isn't. But we didn't really want to, mess up with him. But I want to say that thanks to you and all your videos and tutorials and everything that came from Courtney, we've had dogs before.
Yeah.
But I was really trying to follow your guidelines, and I learned a lot just by having that as a resource.
So for those of you who don't know, she's talking about Courtney. Courtney works for AwesomeDoodle. Courtney's only job is to help prepare you for your puppy, and then once you get your puppy, she helps you, gives you socializing tips and training tips and so forth. So have you conversed with Courtney via email?
Just during email, and we did our puppy test. And
That's
we
right.
passed
Yeah,
it, and we got the puppy bed.
Yeah.
And we were so proud of that. We studied really very hard.
Yeah, we worked real hard.
We
Flashcard.
Yeah. So tell me about this Bromby is becoming pretty famous already. You guys dress him up in clothes. You make him sing the Star Spangled Banner and such. Tell us about that. You've told me you dress up your chickens too. We want to know, where did this come from?
I really don't know where it came from. A few years ago, I just started dressing up my dogs for Christmas cards.
All right.
And that was pretty easy. You get a little Santa Claus suit and stuff. And then we got a special needs chicken that I need to mention. Her name was Helen, and I found that Build-A-Bear costumes really worked on her. So when Bromby and both Rocky and Doobie, our other dog, have been in pictures, and it just was natural for Bromby to be dressed up.
Oh, that's so fun. Tell me the difference between being able to watch Bromby on the puppy cam for 5-6 weeks and then picking him up, rather than instead of a dog where you just pick the dog when it's 8 weeks old.
Well, we felt we knew him, and I felt I knew him, and the excitement level just keeps getting higher and higher and higher, to the point where, I even was struggling to say, I got to go to work, really. I really got to earn a living here. So, and then going to pick him up, you always wonder, well, he seemed like he was friendly with everybody. What's he going to be like with me and stuff like that? And then when I picked him up, he would just immediately start licking and loving on me. And then when I took him, he was just hugging me as I was going down the corridor, and I didn't want to put him in the bag. And then TSA people just fell in love with him. They were saying, "Let me hold him," and then he would. Every TSA person there was touching him as I was going through, and it was just so cool. And then when I put him on the plane, I had to zip him in this. And I thought, how is he going to react? Is he going to whine and cry? Is it going to be so traumatic for him? And he just went to sleep. And I went, really? And I was worried. I think, well, maybe he's hot. Maybe he's passed out, So I zipped him out and held him and stuff like that. And he was just a great little guy. He flew real well. He didn't have any problem. And then when we brought him home, he immediately met the other dogs, and they were just like their own little herd, And he's learned a lot from them. So it's really cool, the way, because you never know how they're going to react with your other animals. Will there be bites and stuff like that, or especially how he's going to be in the airport,
Tell me about your living situation here. So, typically a lot of people have a house with a fenced-in backyard. You kind of have some areas fenced in and some areas not. Have you had to worry about Bromby running away, or how did you handle that when you first got him?
Well, the only thing we did, we put fences along our corral. A little fence along the corral, so we didn't want him to go into the pen with the large animals or accidentally run in there.
Right.
But so we did that just as a preventative thing. but because the other 2 dogs we had already learned that, and he stayed with them, so that was never really a problem. He never even attempted to, and he would stay with them, and he would follow them when I asked them to come, they would come and he would follow. So that part of training was very easy because he responded to them and came, and eventually did it pretty much on his own. But I would just call him to come. Yeah.
They tend to stick pretty close to home, don't they?
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
They do. You know, we have 80 acres, so he could get lost here pretty quickly and stuff. But when Jeri takes them for lots of long walks, and they just love to run and sprint, but they always come back to her. And they always try to keep within about half a mile. No, they're really close. They're usually maybe 100 yards away at the very max.
Right.
They usually
Right.
come right back to you right away.
Well, you guys sent me an email, I don't know, a couple weeks ago asking about wanting to see some of Wendy's puppies at her house. Were you hinting around at something?
Well, we just love. It's been such a wonderful experience. And down the road, I think our next dog is for sure going to be another AwesomeDoodle.
Yeah.
So, and we love working with this organization. And what I didn't love was maybe going to Columbus, Ohio to pick up a dog. So having someone in Denver could be pretty cool.
Yeah, it would be. Well,
You could
Wendy's
visit.
Yes.
Yes,
All through the
yes.
weeks.
Wendy's just an hour away, and I've been spending the weekend with Wendy, and her dogs are just gorgeous. They're so sweet, and I would highly recommend any of Wendy's dogs. Her puppies are raised right in the kitchen, just like I do mine, and I told her this morning that her puppies are better behaved than mine.
Good job.
They're pretty rambunctious still, though. So
Oh, sure.
they like to wrestle and
Yeah,
growl.
they do.
But they're puppies.
Yeah.
They're sweet.
So overall, how was your AwesomeDoodle experience, as we call it?
I would say for me it's been unbelievable. From the very beginning, I was always confident of the professionalism that you guys have, the training that you offer, the constant awareness that there's always somebody you could contact if you had an issue or a problem. I love the pictures because since I take pictures of my animals, I just love the weekly updates, the videos, all of that just for me made it a totally wonderful experience that I will cherish the rest of my life.
Wow, that sounds great.
Yeah, it was a total thing. I mean, and every time we get another weekly picture, it was my screensaver for that week. You know?
Yeah.
And it's just, and then the puppy cams were just so addictive, and we just loved watching them, and you could see them interact, and you learned a lot about why do puppies like to crawl all over each other and that sort of thing, and you'd see how natural that was.
You feel like you get to know your puppy
Yeah.
before you get it, rather than getting an 8-week-old puppy. And I think you were telling me earlier, when you get an 8-week-old puppy, you don't really know
What its history is, where it's been, what it's done, what its
Right.
environment
How it
has
grew
been,
up,
you know, who's been, giving it water, or how does it interact, even with its litter mates,
Yeah.
Did it stay aside, or was it weird even with the litter? But with the puppy cam, you're with that puppy almost 24/7. Well, within limits.
Yeah,
You have to.
Yeah.
We
You
did
have
sleep sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't hide anything
No.
with the puppy cams. You guys see everything, and when I bring new partners on, such as Wendy, sometimes they say, this camera has to be on 24 hours a day. So there's no telling what you'll see in the middle of the night when we have to get up and tend to the puppies.
Yeah.
But that didn't matter. Sometimes we saw feet in there. Well,
Yeah.
we're not looking at the feet. I could, the
Right.
humans didn't really matter. We were so focused in on the mom and the pup.
That's
And
good
the
to know.
care.
That,
Good to know.
oh yeah, there's Jordan's knee, but big deal. Oh, look at Lennon again is taking advantage of Bromby. So
It was
anyway,
cute.
that wasn't
Yeah.
that's not a big deal. So you could be
Okay, I can be in my PJs.
Yeah, you could be in your PJs.
snuggling with the
At
puppies.
least my knees.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again for the warm welcome. It's certainly been worth the trip out here. Your house is gorgeous. Your land is gorgeous. I wish I could spend a week here at the ranch.
It is. It's wonderful.
Well, you know, there's
You're always
more
welcome.
litters on the way.
Welcome.
Well, thanks again,
Thank you.
Jim and Jeri. We really appreciate your kind words. Over and out.